Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Random Encounters Guild. Tonight we're playing Symbaroum and with 100% more Kevin. It was discovered that he was free for the next couple of weeks on Monday night, and so we cooked up a little surprise for Larry, Moe, and Curly, and so he is joining us for the next two sessions, which should be, I'm not going to say who's who.
Yeah, but that regardless, that makes him Shimp.
Well, yeah, obviously.
That's fine. I'm a Shemp stan, so it's okay.
You could be Curly Joe. The oft forgotten fifth stooge.
So Kev's going to be joining us for the next couple of sessions, and we're going to try to wrap up the Promised Land in a couple of sessions. I think it is doable, maybe, possibly, and if not, his character will die, and we'll just keep going. But that being said, I am Guildmaster Scott. I run things here at the Random Encounters Guild, and we like to play a lot of different games. And we've got a nice little community over on our Discord server. You can join us there and check out what we've got going on right now. We've got this on every other Monday night. On Wednesday nights, we've got Blade 68. Don't know if we're playing this weekend or not because Jenna is still in the middle of moving. So we haven't discussed this week. And then on Sunday nights, we have Alien, which we're having a lot of fun with that. But yeah, and for my players, I've got Chad playing Varric, Tim is playing Velcor, Davry is playing Torvar, and Kevin is playing Razor, a ogre who is a bodyguard for Argasto, the leader of this caravan across the Titan Mountains, and that's why he hasn't had to do any of the menial grunt work that the other three have had to do, is because he's Argasto's bodyguard.
Someone has to supervise.
Yeah. So where we left off, you guys you fought Mal Rogan at the water tower and killed his two henchmen, and you did a lot of damage to him, it seemed like, but you taunted him into staying longer than he intended to stay, and but he is now he ran off into the mountains. I'm sure you won't ever see him again. I'm sure you put the fear of God into him.
The character actually has a pretty high level shit talking ability. That's like his real strength.
Yeah. like a 15 in that bad boy.
Yep.
I figure we won't see him again because he's got 17 arrows in him. He probably got stuck in the bushes somewhere.
But then you began making your way back to camp, or to the caravan, and you recovered the sunstone. You got some. They had a couple of trinkets, some money maybe. I don't remember what all they had on them. They both had long spear. There were a couple of crossbows. We handed all that stuff out at the end of the session last time, so that's all dealt with. So we left off as you guys were making your way back. You don't run into anything. Nothing confronts you on your way back. But you were all three a little perturbed with the situation, and with Bartolom losing the Sunstone to begin with, even though he was robbed. It's not like he lost it, it was stolen. But you were planning to come back in and have a discussion with Argasto, and about the situation and where the caravan was headed. And that was where we called it a night. So, yeah, you guys arrive at camp. You see the same, the normal faces. Batolum is there, huddled at the fire. There's a couple of Pathfinder guys. You haven't really talked to them yet. I think you may have spoken with them briefly. They're two brothers. Their names are Ludo and Balin. And they're kind of off. They're still in the circle. They're at the fire, but they're kind of off to themselves. They kind of keep to themselves and have the entire trip. And yeah, Argasto is there with his big ogre bodyguard named Razior, which you would know that by now. You would have definitely been around him. So yeah, you guys make your way back to camp. The two guards that were with you go about their business and like start telling everybody the story of the fight and defeating this Mal Rogan guy.
How the three of us bravely stood up and fought hand to hand, while others might have, hidden up in the top in the crow's nest.
That's just
so
for an arrow in the back of the head next time. That's all I'm saying.
So yeah, you guys make your way back into camp, and it seems like everyone is safe. Everyone is there. But yeah, Argasto is very pleased to see you come back, and he welcomes you back to the fire, and he has somebody fetch you some mead and maybe a bowl of soup. It seemed like Varric did some hunting and managed to get a lot of you were eating some kind of stew, I believe it was, when all this started. So yeah, he's very happy to see you back and safe, relatively unharmed, it seems, for the most part. And he asked if you managed to recover the Sunstone and what happened. What was going on?
While we're like walking into camp and getting everything ready, Torvar is going to lean over to Velcor and say, "When we start relaying our story to Master Argasto, keep an eye out on camp. I don't trust that was our only viper in our nest. I want to see if anybody if anyone reacts unusually to the story and to the return of the Sunstone."
Velcor gives him a nice thumbs up, subdued.
I mean, you could all three do that. It would be a roll against vigilance.
Okay, 11. Not bad. I just assume our changeling has a craftier eye than others. So assume
He's in on
he
it.
knows the human condition. Well,
He's
I
in
got a
on
9.
it. Yeah, Velcor is the traitor.
Well, I mean, he did keep missing during that fight.
I got 1
I didn't say he was cheating.
out
I
of
said
4.
that is a 25% success ratio. That ain't bad.
It all depends on what I can use, because my cunning is not great, but what is it? Discreet. Yeah.
So if you're wanting to, as you tell your tale, if you want to kind of keep an eye on the camp and see if there's any kind of reaction, Like I said, it'd be a roll against vigilance. Anybody can roll it, including you, Kevin, if you want to roll it. Remember, in this game, you want to roll below your number.
Yeah. So yeah, my vigilance is an 11. I rolled a 9. So
Okay.
Mine's 11. I rolled a 6.
Okay.
Ooh, I got a 5.
Show up.
see,
3.
I told you, the changeling has a keen eye.
All
Need
right.
you to root for me
So
whenever I'm shooting something.
yeah, as long as he's not looking down the business end of a crossbow, he's got a very keen eye. So yeah, everybody wants to hear your. I mean, do you just kind of paraphrase the whole thing, what happened, or do you leave anything out? What are your plans?
So I'm not going to prevent anyone else from saying this part, but I will definitely be like, yeah, we found the traitor, we tracked him down to this mill, the bandit lord that he was working for, and some of his men showed up. I am explicitly not mentioning that Mal Rogan is probably undead, because I don't want to worry the rest of the camp. Now, if anyone else in the group says, oh, and by the way, that dude was totally a zombie, I'm not stopping anybody, but I myself am not volunteering that tidbit.
Well, you did insist on bringing 2 NPC caravan guards who are very excited to show off that they.
Yeah, like I said, I'm not going to stab a caravan guard in the back for saying it. I'm just not saying it myself.
Anybody else?
I might add in a few little tidbits or whatever, but I take his lead and not adding into anything.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, as you're telling your story, like the only kind of reaction that you get, it's not a like sneaky kind of like not any underhanded kind of thing, but Bertolum is interested in this interested in Mal Rogan, not that you named him, but like this leader of these robbers, if he was able to fight off the 3 of you, or the 5 of you actually, he must be a pretty powerful. He wants to know, like he asked if he was a magic user. If you're not going to tell him he's undead, that won't come up now, but he may hear it from frickin' Frack.
I was like, oh yeah, he was definitely some sort of sorcerer. He threw, and I mean, I'm probably still like caked in ichor and or ichor, or however you say it, gross black stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, he definitely had some sort of fell magic at his beck and call.
Maybe you should go down to where Bartolom got robbed and take a bath. I'm just saying.
I'm gonna wash my clothes and all that good stuff,
but yeah, Varric will kind of on the side sort of say to Bartolom, like, some things are probably best discussed away from the full set of eyes with the caravan master.
Of course, yes. Yeah, there's no sense in causing undue stress on the caravan. Everyone's already under enough pressure. You're right. I apologize. And he holds his hand out for the sunstone.
Sunstone? What sunstone?
Yeah, Argasto is like he said. It's not safe to cross the mountains without it. There's a reason. There's always a third carrying a sunstone when you cross the Titans, and he's assuming you retrieved it, and he's expecting you to hand it over to Bartolom unless there's a problem.
Yeah, I don't remember which one of us had the sunstone.
Yeah, I don't remember who specifically picked it up, but
I think it was Torvar. I think.
Okay, well
Let's
then,
just say
yeah.
But
I'm
it
sure
could
it's
have been
not
like
good.
you guys can hand it back and forth. Whoever wants to have it can have it. It doesn't matter.
It is almost literally a hot potato. So
Oh, we left it on the body back at the
yeah.
tower. Oh, sorry guys.
Ah, crap! I'll be right back.
Well, yeah. If I have it, give it back to Bartolom, no problem.
Okay. Yeah, he holds out a small leather satchel with a pull tie on the top. Looks a lot like a dice bag. But you drop it in and he pulls it tight and he actually he he bows. He takes a pose and like bows to you and thanks you uh for bringing the sunstone back because it would have uh the belief is you all would have died without it. At the moment the sunstone is not active, but the common once you wake up a sunstone, you can't it once it's active, it can't be turned off. And the belief in these sorts of things in this world is you can't light a candle without casting a shadow. So it's only to be used in like extreme, like when it's the only available option. Um, so he puts it in this bag and closes it and ties it and puts it away in his robes and like I said, he's not being you all passed your checks. He's not being in any way kind of squirrely or secretive or anything. He's very thankful. He is very interested in Malrogan. Um, and would love to hear more of that, and especially if the two guards start telling people that he was an undead. He'll definitely want to hear more about that if that gets back to him.
Well,
So-
Varric's intention is to once everybody's kind of dispersed from the excitement of everything happening, is to kind of quietly pull the group and Argosto and Bartolome aside, and it's like, okay, we need to talk.
Exactly. Yeah,
Okay.
like those two specifically were the ones I was thinking too. Argosto and Bartolom would be like, look, the dude's undead. We don't even know if he's not going to he's going to continue after us. He swears he will have the sunstone. I don't know if he'll be able to hunt all day and all night, if we will always be in danger, or what's going on there.
Kevin, roll on cunning for me. You have a 9.
Nope. 14.
All right.
My new dice has betrayed me.
It's just helping you get into character as an ogre.
It's all fancy. It's all bright,
Ooh,
shiny. Yeah. It's something I kickstarted years ago, and it finally came.
So fancy.
Okay. Argasto, so you're having this conversation and Razior is with him. Argasto doesn't really go places without this ogre. But you pull the two of them aside, or three of them, counting Razior, and you tell them this, and Argasto will actually he says, I've heard of this Malrogan. There's tales of him in the here in the mountains. I don't know if it's true or not, but the legends or the rumors say that he's missing one of his hands. I'm not sure. I don't remember which one, and he wears it around his neck. He wears it as a necklace.
Pretty metal.
We definitely did. We
It
see a
would have been-
stump, or we
it
just
got
saw that?
close enough to actually use
had-
it.
A claw thing.
It would have been metal if he'd gotten close enough to put it into play.
We do remember that I do remember though that the guards were wearing a necklace in the shape of a hand.
And Malrogan kept one hand kind of obscured.
So that tracks. I was too busy
but-
shooting with arrows to notice the number of limbs he had.
But yeah, the rumors are that he is an undead, and if you're close enough to him, you can see that and smell it. Apparently, but at the end of the day, he's just a common. Like he's, it's like you said before. He is a rather powerful magic user, but he's just a leading a band of thieves. He's not some great warlord or underground godfather. He's just these people worship him because of his undead, his nature. They think that he's some kind of a deity. I'm assuming Keller was under his thrall.
Very much so.
Keller at least worked for him. Whether he was ensorcelled or charmed or anything like that, I can't say. But he worked for Malrogan. That was the end game, was to bring the Sunstone directly to him.
He was ranting quite a bit, and for someone who wasn't a believer, if that was the case.
Well, at the very least, we know that he is going to, if you took out Keller and then removed his two henchmen, he wouldn't come at us alone. He'll at least have to go back to wherever it is that his encampment is and get more people. We will be gone by the time that occurs. If he comes back this way, and if he comes at us while we're all here in the caravan, and he turns and pats Razor on the shoulder, he says, "Razor will handle it. You're not afraid of any undead."
Rage, you are not afraid of any undead.
And here again, like, you kind of, Bartolom seems to think that Argasto knows far more about this situation than you guys do, so he starts pestering Argasto and leaves you alone. And
That makes sense with Argasto having met Malrogan. Oh wait, that was us.
I thought you would like to not be bothered by Bartolom. I'm trying to give you a bone here, Avery.
Hey, I don't want to be bothered by him, but I want
you and grip your robes the rest of the session if you want to.
I don't want him to bother me. I want him to want to bother me.
Okay. I used my chance cubes. The two guards, like, nobody really believes them, but they are telling people that what you fought was a zombie, like some kind of weird zombie creature. It was a man riding a horse and throwing magic spells, but he was a zombie. And but like I said, nobody in the camp, like, everybody's like, unless you guys back them up, nobody's really going to buy what they're selling. So
Not
is
going to back them up, but I'm not going to actively back them up. So let's put it that way.
I'm like, ooh, I got to go take a shower real quick. I see all it.
So, is there any other discussion or anything else you want to do before we move on
No, I
and
think we've
begin
delivered.
chapter 3 in for reals?
No,
I
I think
think we've kind of delivered our warning, and
yeah. We delivered a warning. We kind of know what we're up against. So yeah, I think I'm good.
Yeah. So is Torvar? Torvar is going to run down to that stream. You know exactly where it is. He's going to wash up before going to bed, or are you going to wait till morning?
No, I'm gonna wash up, man.
I was going to say, please wash up.
I mean, yeah, you know, like
This is
Argasto's going to be like, let's go. First light, he's going to be ready to go. So
this is like the Symbaroum equivalent of a hangover, man. You want to like prep that stuff the night before.
Like my character is a forsaken or abducted human. He's not fussy, but nobody wants to sleep next to that.
You don't want to sleep next to it. I don't want to be it. So.
Yeah.
So you guys get cleaned up. You get some food in you. Does anybody? I don't think anybody has any. No, some of you have some damage.
Yeah, I'm still down a few, but
I'm down 2, I think.
Yeah, I didn't take any damage, I don't believe. So
yeah, I'm down 2 from the curse.
I don't know if you get points back from resting or not.
I do not remember how healing works in Symbaroum, so to the book.
Yeah.
120.
Let's hope we do. Otherwise, might be in a bit of a sticky wicket.
Oh, that's a spell.
Let's see.
160 is healing.
Yep, damage and healing. Can happen naturally by the use of alchemy or medicine or with the help of mystical powers. Natural healing happens at a rate of 1 point of toughness per day.
so if I sleep for 3 days, I'm good.
You can also heal point of toughness immediately with alchemical herbal cures. The Medicus ability is 1d4 more if combined with herbal cures, and then of course there's spells. So
Yeah, mystical powers. So, I mean, you could ask. There is a black cloak in the caravan. Her name is Lestra. She could do lay on hands if you want, or you can just rest and get a point back, and it depends on what you want to do. But she's in the caravan. It's not like she's going to charge you or anything. So,
I mean, if nothing else, Bartolom might have some healing ability, and he kind of owes us one.
I don't know if he does. I can see.
Yeah, I don't know.
Surely a third he can heal. I remember my third character could do a little bit, but I think that was forever ago.
Yeah, I don't know. I will gladly ask the Black Cloak if she can help me out a little bit to cleanse the foul sorcery that struck me down.
Okay. Okay, so magic users, how do you? What is it you roll?
So for lay on hands, it's a resolute test.
Okay.
I don't know if it's a static or if it's like her resolute versus mine, or which feels weird because it feels weird that if you're if you're
Yeah,
magically
it should
adept,
just
it's
be
harder
like
for
her
you.
resolute is a -3, which means she's got a 13 in it.
Yeah. So I don't know
So-
if it's just she makes a flat check.
I'm gonna say she does. Boom. So she passes her check. Now I need to know what lay on hands does.
It heals 1d6 damage.
All right.
And you
4
said you
points of damage.
All right.
If she's got
somebody
any more of those laying on of hands, Velcor would appreciate it.
Sure. Ooh, got it exactly. 4 points of healing.
Yay! I'm back to full.
And it looks like Varric is okay.
Mhm.
One of the bonuses of hiding up in the top of the tower the entire fight.
Hey, I'll let the rest of the party go without fire support if they want to.
All right. So, oh, hey, Jonathan. I didn't see you come in. Thanks for joining us, buddy. All right. So, you guys bed down. You get your healing. You get a drink of mead. You get a bowl of stew, and you bed down. And like I said, first light, you get everything packed up and get moving. The weather continues to be favorable, even if the cold bites on cheeks and fingers. The sunstone has not been activated yet. And it won't be unless truly called for. And if you continue to have conversations with Bartolom, not that you're necessarily befriending him, but like he's going to be around because you guys kind of saved his bacon. You get the sense that he knows that if he activates it, he knows that waking the warmth of the sunstone will come to affect the one doing so. Which is another reason he's very careful about not activating it prematurely. He's afraid it's going to affect him in some way.
Does he know
With,
how? Like, is it going to be like a corruption thing, or is it going to be?
Or he's afraid that that's what's going to happen is corruption.
Yeah, I mean, Varric is definitely going to be keeping an eye on him just because we know someone is not necessarily after him, but is after what he has. So,
Yeah.
and if it is truly that important, then, you know, Varric is at least going to be keeping one eye on him anytime he's around.
Yeah, I think Torvar is probably like he is more prepped for a fight at all times than he was before the Malrogan fight. So he's always in his armor, always carrying his shield, always like expecting the other shoe to drop.
Yeah. Razor, do you have anything you want to do or any questions you want to ask or anything before we kind of move on?
No, I'm just gonna do my job in helping, pack things up and get the caravan ready to get moving. Keeping my watchful eye on everything.
Doing lots of push-ups.
One-armed push-ups, because swole.
Am I the only one who?
One thing.
I was gonna say, am I the only one who can't hear him?
Yeah, I think so.
Can
Unfortunately,
you hear Kevin?
Can you hear me?
I can
talking.
hear you.
I can.
That's odd because on mine he's actually dropped out of the side chat too. That's odd. Hang on.
You may need to refresh the ninja call.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Give me a second.
Velcor's just hanging out in the shadows.
Quick, Chad's gone. Loot his character.
See here, he has bone reinforcement. Oh, he's
Oh no.
There it is.
Can you hear me now?
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Dulcet
Yeah.
tones.
It was weird. Kevin and Kevin alone vanished from
Well,
here. Ninja couldn't hear him.
I turned my video and sound off for a second because I had to blow my nose, and I didn't want to do that on camera. And came back, and I guess it didn't work properly.
Interesting.
All right, so you make your way north, continue fighting. Thank you, Jonathan. I thought everything looked good on OBS, so but you continue your way north, and like I said, the weather is favorable still. Things seem to be going well. You're not just getting pummeled with snow and everything. However, for the Iron Knights in the pass, you're going to need firewood to build fire, and the vegetation in the hills is starting to get sparse. So it's like all hands on deck. Everybody's got to go dig up some firewood. And so you guys make your way, or the three of you, Varric, Velcor, and Torvar, you go east off of the trail, looking for firewood. There's a not a forest, but there's trees. They're kind of, they're dead and just kind of skeletons of trees. But you might be able to find some good firewood, like a little bit to not southeast so much, but just kind of angled towards the south, on the east side of the trail. And then a group of travelers go to the west side. They literally send everybody out trying to go find firewood. There may be a few people, sticking with the caravan to start getting it squared away for the night. And you guys are finding some decent firewood. You think you're going to be able to have at least a small fire if nobody else finds anything. But as you're,
I wish we had the ogre with us to carry this.
as you're kind of walking through this little snow-covered little copse of trees, to the north, you hear the roaring of a beast, and soon it is merged with desperate cries from humans.
And is it north? Like, so we came
Go
kind of
straight north from where you're at right now, not back towards the caravan, but
That's
straight north.
okay.
So
That
somebody
was
had
my
gone northeast, you went southeast.
Okay.
Now you're not 100% sure who that is, but something is attacking, and at least a couple of people are being terrorized. I assume you're going that way, or are you just going to continue collecting wood and head back to the fire?
Not my problem. I will
We went through
definitely.
crap last night.
That's right. I guard the caravan. This ain't caravan business. So, no,
I want my employment contract. I don't know.
that's right. I'm on my break. Oh yeah, I am definitely gonna head that way quickly.
Yeah. Well, Varric will head that direction.
All right. Oh man, it didn't keep my dudes. I had the map all set up, and it didn't. It deleted them when I closed it. That sucks.
Been there.
I was being a good GM and had it all ready to go.
Someone was in your base killing your dudes.
No plan survives contact with the enemy. I mean, players.
Uh, all right, now I'll bring you guys in.
And so it begins.
What's it gonna be? 2 beasts per PC or something?
Now it's
Not
3.
necessarily.
Because you had to say something.
You let him know what we thought we might could handle.
Man, it deleted your. Why is it not holding your initiatives?
Yeah, Fantasy Grounds with this seems a little janky.
Like I put them all in so they would be there, and then now they're not there.
I don't like seeing that Rhaegar is wounded there.
Oh yeah, I'm not at full hit points.
All that laying on of hands.
Hold on a second. Let me get everybody's initiatives put in. What is? Yeah, it's starting you out at 10 when your max is 15.
Ooh,
That doesn't make sense.
It does. It's done the same thing with like my accuracy on my bow and stuff like that. Fantasy Grounds is being weird about some of the calculations, and I'm not quite sure why.
So I will say,
Yeah, I
also,
told Kevin we've been having trouble with it. That's why we weren't really using it. But the way this game works is, I mean, I need your quick to be your initiative so that we know where everything is. I've got you all in there now.
I was gonna say, if you've got something like a map or something pulled up, I am not seeing anything.
I haven't shared it with you yet.
Okay. Everyone's talking about all these numbers and their setup and everything. I'm like, I got nothing here. Uh-oh.
So, Razor, you hear the noises as well, and you come running. You're at the trail here, and so you come running to the east, and you all arrive at about the same time, and you see Ludo and Balin, the two brothers. You see Lestra, the Black Cloak, who healed you.
Okay.
You see these two kind of hyena, canine, dog, wolf type creatures that are, to be a Jakar is what they're called. You see two of them.
And that's some sort of like regular Symbaroum critter, like that's
yeah. The Jakar is a canine pack animal, as prone to capture its own prey as it is to eat from cadavers left by other beasts. So yeah, they're literally the hyenas from the Lion King. They're just like little, nasty little wolf creatures. But you also see a monstrous wolf. If anyone has beast lore, you can roll that for me and tell me if you succeed or not.
All right, I do in fact have beast lore. Let's see, so that's cunning, and that is a 5. So I do succeed.
You know this to be a hunger wolf.
a hunger wolf.
Which is
A Durand Ransom?
No. Stop
Oh,
it.
that's hungry like a wolf. Yeah, gotcha.
It is a fearsome beast, second only to the Rio that dances on the sands. Oh, he's got to crack open the bestiary.
He's gone
Uh-oh.
Well, I'm hoping it's in the. I mean, I've got the PDF of the bestiary, but I don't have the actual book. I was just saying if there may be something in here. I can open up the bestiary. It's. I mean, you succeed on the roll. I need to give you the information of what it is. Let me see if I can find it in the bestiary very quickly. Pathfinder.
Ew, Pathfinder.
Huge hunger wolves are some of the most able cars that can grow. Luckily, they are really hunting back. Some people.
No, I've got it. There we go.
Well, I just
Oh, chat. All right. I
Yeah.
thought you said chat.
no chat.
Yeah. Saying Scott is 90% static.
I wonder if it's okay. It's back. He says. I wonder if it's because I opened.
Got angry because you opened up PDF?
Yeah, I'm wondering if my system is struggling with all the windows that I've got open. So yeah, it is. It's pretty much a bigger version of the Jakar that you're seeing. It's just like I said, it's the size of a horse.
So this is the dire wolf that they've been
Yeah,
recreating
that
in
they
real
brought
life.
back.
Oh yeah.
Yay!
And so yeah, you guys all run up, and like I said, Lestra is there with the two brothers, and we are in initiative. Kevin, this game initiative is just your quick score. Whoever has the highest number in quick, they go first. And if you have the highest number in the encounter, you get to decide if you want to delay or not. However, none of you have the highest number in the encounter.
Nope.
That's not good. Given I've got a 13, that's definitely not good.
Oh well. So I guess Lestra's going first because surely that's who's got the high.
We're going to go ahead and assume that it's the big wolf that's the size of a horse. So it is going. All right. So, like you guys run up. You guys are more like these two guys are like guides. What a pathfinder is in Symbaroum is you're a guide. People hire you to guide them through, like going into Davokar or through the mountains. They're not warriors. I don't even know that they're armed. Let me see.
Who travels around Davokar without a weapon?
Yeah. So are the brothers like
Well, they've
Torvar,
got bows and axes and armors. They've got leather armor. They're armed.
Right. So like Torvar, are the brothers are they natives of Davokar?
No, they're human. But you know
So am
that
I.
that's a well. But what I'm saying is I can't Yendros. They're like from Yendros.
Oh, okay.
They're not like
Ambrian or whatever.
yeah, they're Ambrians.
Okay.
That was the word I couldn't remember. So, but they're also terrified. Like they got confronted by this huge wolf. Lestra seems to be not as terrified, but she may not have seen a lot of combat. Do you want to do any kind of a tactical, like give any orders, or give them any guidance, or tell them what to do, or are we just going in and letting it go?
I mean, if there's anything in particular I can tell them that I can yell out about the Hunger Wolf for them. Otherwise, it's sort of probably just yelling at them to fall back, as if we know that they're not really experienced fighters.
Yeah, that would be my thing, which is fall back, join the group.
Really, the only thing like you could tell them about it from your it's literally just a big wolf. There's no like armor or don't let it bite you. Not because it's going to poison you, because it's really, really, really going to hurt.
The claws are okay, just don't get bitten.
Yeah. I mean, it's good advice, I gotta say.
Thank you for that.
But it is the Hunger Wolves initiative. It is not going to choose to delay. It is going to which one is it doing? Where is it is going for Balin. It is going to try to attack Balin. Because it is closest. He is closest to it. And so, okay, this game is confusing enough when I'm attacking you guys. I'm not attacking an NPC with an NPC. So it goes to attack. So what this is going to give you is a bit of a surprise round. That's, for all intents and purposes. It goes to attack Balin, and Ludo grabs him and like snatches him out of the way, and this wolf comes down and tries to snap his jaws around Balin and just gets a mouthful of snow because Ludo grabs him. They pull their axes and they're going to try to get the Jakar. And one of them will even say, you guys can deal with this wolf. We'll take the little ones.
So since it got a mouthful of snow, it gets brain freeze and loses another round, right?
Yeah.
It's just wondering. Oh,
I like the way you think.
But the Jakar will. They are going to make their way around here and kind of come at Ludo and Balin. I'm gonna say he got dragged over here. So that would make Ludo come first, and he, like I said, he pulled his axe out of his belt, and he attacks the first one, and they go into it. They're for them to have come off kind of as, you know, not ready for a fight. They seem to be handling these little guys pretty well. They jump in and go after them. It's just this big guy is a little bit out of their league. So Varric, that brings us to you.
All right. Well, if I don't have to, I'm not going to get into melee combat with this thing. That's what the ogre's for. So Varric is going to try and put an arrow in it, and if nothing else, hopefully that'll slow it down a little bit.
All right.
So my accuracy is a 15. What am I trying to beat here?
It's against its defense, correct? You got a -5 on that.
Dang. Okay. That is an 8. So thankfully, so that sucker is hard to hit, or at least hard to wound. And that is a D10's worth of damage. So that is also an 8. Apparently, my dice like 8s this evening.
All right. You did 8 points of damage?
Yep, I do a D10 with a bow. So I have marksman. That is, of course, before any armor reduction of damage. But
yeah. And so whatever the armor, the number under armor, it just soaks that much.
Correct.
Correct. Okay. I mean, that's still a pretty crazy amount of damage for one hit. Velcor. Varric, do you want to move at all? Or are you going to stay?
No, Varric is going to stay back, kind of back out of its bite range, since I probably just ticked it off.
All right, Velcor.
Velcor is going to stupidly run up because that's what he does.
And because otherwise he wouldn't be able to hit it.
I can't move my guy.
Hold on. There you go.
Thank you. I'm just going to go up over here on the side, and as he's running, he's going to do a resolute test to see if he can look kind of wolfish. Ooh, and that's a 4. So yeah, I actually finally, all those almost making it, I actually look rather wolfish to the enemies, and now they have a 50% chance of hitting me. And then I'm going to feint and going to stabby stab with. Let's go with the parrying dagger. And we're doing a backstab with this. So this is my.
All right, its defense is a -5, so
I
that
take
off.
that, and I get a +2 because I have an advantage. So that's just a -3. Is that right?
Yeah,
should be.
All
Works
right.
for me.
So I have to roll a 10 or less. A nat 1. I finally get to be excited about a nat 1.
That's not a thing in this game.
Still. So
Just
that
let us have
is
it.
1d6 and 1d4
Good
damage.
grief.
I'm finally getting to do what I do. And that is
Yes,
max
boss.
damage.
Nice.
A 6 and a 4.
Oh man.
Nice.
Mm.
Norse Foundry is not doing me poorly tonight. That's the ooze of
Okay,
doom.
raise your.
All right. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to get angry. And I'm going to attack with both of my swords. It's a 3 for the first one and a 2 for the second one. So they both pass my accuracy check.
Nice.
So you use 2 swords like a cool dude.
Yep. Grab a D8.
Just remember, you're taking 5 off of that. So for his defense, or its defense.
Yeah. I still passed on both though.
Oh, okay.
So 8 damage for the first attack and 4 for the second attack.
Oh my.
Ouch.
Man, I really thought this was going to be really heavy duty, but no. Between Velcor and Razor, I mean, Varric started it off with a, like, apparently that arrow went into one of its ears. So yeah, you guys just kind of like circle around it and just like slice it up, take it out, and it falls to the ground in a bloody heap. And you look over, and Balin and Ludo, they may have taken a couple of scratches from these Jakars, but they managed to get them dealt with. You don't have to worry about them. And Lestra will, she runs over and to Balin, and like she's healing them. She's using lay on hands, and she seems to be really worried about the two of them for some reason.
I'm not in that love triangle, so.
Shout out. Were you injured?
You guys are, you're checking, you're watching. They killed the Jakar, and now they're kind of getting healed up. And Lestra stands up and she gets a rag out of her cloak and is like wiping her hands. And she turns and looks behind you guys and is shocked.
Oh dear.
And her eyes go big, and then Balin and Ludo's eyes go big, and you guys all turn.
It's right behind us, isn't it?
there's a large bloody circle in the snow, but it's not a horse-sized wolf laying in it.
It's a man, isn't it?
It's a child. A child.
It is an elf.
Oh dear.
A female elf. She has no weapons on her. She's wearing just a tunic, a rough, nothing fancy. No fancy robes or any of that. You can all give me a vigilant roll with a +3 if you would like.
So I will turn to Torvar will turn to Varric and say, "What is the meaning of this?"
Hey, I don't work for these people anymore.
All right, so vigilant. So +3. So we roll.
Yeah, so it's 3 easier than it's not taking 3 away from you. It's giving you 3. It's making it easier.
Okay.
Oh.
And it's vigilant.
Well, I roll.
Yeah.
I rolled a 1.
Okay. So that would make my vigilant a 14, and I rolled a 12. So
With the
I rolled a 7, so I make it as well. And yeah, Varric is kind of muttering to himself.
I rolled an 11.
Varric is kind of muttering to himself in Elvish as he kneels down next to the corpse, because this isn't good. This isn't good at all.
So those of you that passed that vigilant test, you notice that Balin and Ludo at the sight of this elf are very nervous. Like they were scared of the wolf, but an elf is a problem.
I was like, well, that makes 3.
The
of
elf
us.
is making they're noticeably nervous that
Makes
just that
4
this
of us.
elf is here.
Yeah, Varric is going to kind of rifle through her robes and see if he can find anything to identify her, any sort of clan markings, any writings.
She's wearing a simple wool coat, carries no weapons, but on her left upper arm is a decorated bracelet. Do any of you have Lore Master?
I do not.
I don't think so. Let me check.
I mean, there's a chance I might be able to recognize it because I am an abducted human, so I spent time with elves, but I do not have War Master.
Yeah, no. The only thing I got that may be close enough is I have Witchcraft. But no Lore Master, no nothing.
I live a long time. That's what I have.
Me too.
Our priestess know anything there? Our black cloak?
She will. Yeah, she kneels down. She runs over to this elf, and kneels down next to it, and is curious about the body, and asks out loud. She says, "Who or what was this hunger wolf out to get?"
Varric is
And-
just
If you all 4 would like to give me another vigilant check as she says that, please.
seven.
No
So,
bonuses or negatives this time, just straight vigilance.
Yeah,
well,
we rolled a 9. So
You'd
I
have to
got
give a really good bonus for me to have noticed anything. I rolled an 18.
Yeah, I rolled a 7, so I made it.
Yeah.
I failed.
All right. So, Varric and Torvar, like she says this, she says, "Who or what was this hunger wolf here for?" And she looks at Ludo and Balin. Like she's not trying to give you any hints, but she's looking at them like she suspects that they were who this thing was here for.
Right. And so, to explain to Davery by way of Torvar, is this elven territory? Like, is it odd for an elf to be here? Like
No. This is not elvish territory in any way.
That's what I thought it was. They were mostly in the forest, and this is a way far south for them to be.
Yeah, this is not even part of the area that they would normally be looking to protect. Even outside their.
Varric, if you hand her the arm ring, she will tell you that it is an ancient elven oath ring. I've never seen one before, but in books I've read, they're meant to be symbols of the Iron Pact.
Yeah, which Varric should recognize as an abducted human. He worked for a time for the elves directly. And
I guess you would have recognized it then. Yeah.
Yeah. I think this adventure was written before the Forsaken humans were in the game, or the abducted.
Probably,
humans.
yeah.
Varric's going to look at her, and he said, "But the only reason that an elf, and I'm going to presume a druid, just judging by the shape shifting, would be here is if she was specifically hunting someone, and you know something, don't you? And Varric's going to look at her and then look over at the brothers.
She again, like she gets two handfuls of snow, and like is trying to wash her hands.
Is
Laying
this
hands, it's like laying hands on the two of them was not comfortable for her.
So she's playing Lady Hamlet.
Lady Macbeth.
Macbeth, rather, yeah.
Out.
Varric is going to stand up and he's going to turn because he's very perturbed at this, and he's actually going to point at the two brothers and say, "What have you done?"
Yeah, and Torvar's going to kind of just step slightly off to the side, visibly with Varric with the hand still on his sword, and go, and answer quick. You've put us all in danger.
Velcor is going to kind of move around to where he'll have the word just left me. Anyway, I'm going to be on the back side of him.
In case somebody needs a good shanking.
Yeah.
Razor, what are
Flanking. Thank you. Finally.
I'll stand behind them to if they try and wrap it, then I can.
they both like they put their axes away. They put their axes in their belts. They were over there kind of cleaning them, like trying to get the blood of the Jakar off of them. They put them away and put their hands up, and they like we haven't done anything. We don't know where that creature came from. Like I've never seen a wolf that size, let alone one turn into an elf. What are we going to do with this body? We can't just leave it here.
Give them the eyeball. Do they seem like they're telling the truth, or are they trying to lie their way out of here?
Give me a vigilance check.
6. I rolled a 6. Do I need to add or subtract or do anything?
No, straight vigilance.
Okay, then yeah, I got it.
I got a 9, so I did make it by 2.
I got a 10, so I just made it.
I passed too.
Balin is like you kind of get like you've maybe have thought over the last couple of days that he got a cold or the flu. He seems ill, and now that you're seeing it, like you're up close with him, he's visibly ill. You don't see any markings on him or anything, but he looks like he's sick. Now, he's being honest about not seen. He doesn't know anything about this wolf or elves or any of that. If you want to push this any further, isn't that persuasion?
Persuasion, or I imagine you could probably do strength or something to intimidate, I guess.
Yeah, you can if somebody wants to try persuasion or I don't want to say it would be strength, but I kind of think an intimidate would be not resolute. Cunning. Yeah, if anybody wants to try to intimidate, it would be a cunning roll, and if you want to try to just talk to them and persuade them to give you more, it would be a persuasion roll.
I mean, I can try and intimidate. If anybody is more talkative than I am, they may want to give that a go. But
I would think you have one player that would be pretty intimidating if he wanted to be.
Yeah. So yeah,
Although,
I have
I'm shortchanging him though because I'm saying it's a cunning roll and Razor has low cunning.
I was gonna say I've got a good cunning. I've got a cunning of 13.
yeah, mine's 10. So we could do the good cop, bad cop.
Yeah.
Maybe it would just be strength. These attributes are so kind of vague.
Well, and I think it's one of those things where multiple skills are applicable to multiple, or multiple stats would be applicable to multiple skills. Like if Rhaegar is trying to intimidate somebody, he would probably rely on strength. Torvar may very well rely on cunning to do it, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I think strong would be. Now that I opened up an NPC and like seeing the actual wording. There's accurate, persuasive, strong, cunning, quick, vigilant, discreet, and resolute. I think it would be strong, either strong or resolute.
I would tend to think it would be something like, and just spitballing would be like strong versus their resolute or something in Rhaegar's case.
So if like I said, that is something to be thinking about. Is like Ludo spoke up and was like, "What are we going to do with this body? We can't just leave it here."
I mean, if we passed a vigilant check and they seem like they're being honest, they have no idea what's going on. I don't see a lot of value in intimidating someone who doesn't know anything.
I will say you get the sense they know more than they're telling you, but they've never seen this wolf or they've never been in contact with an elf. But there's something else behind the story. There's something that they're not being straightforward about.
All right.
I kind of step up and just kind of the tip of the stiletto I was carrying is just pressing against Balin. You need to tell us what you know.
Like you may not know something about this elf, but you know more than you're saying. And this camp has already dealt with one traitor in its midst. Do you think they'll go kind on a second?
And you have no idea the wrath you may have brought down on yourselves by causing this.
And yeah, Lestra will also speak up, and she'll look at Balin. Now that you guys have pushed this to this point, Lestra will turn and she'll say, "Balin, you obviously have blight. You have done something that has caused you to have blight. I've suspected this for days, and healing your wounds just now, I have no doubt that you have blight." And they both were like, "No, that's not possible. There's no way." But they, you guys kind of, with all of you kind of ganging up on them, they tell you a tale. They were hired out of Thistlehold by a group of treasure hunters to guide them into Davokar. You guys would know that Thistlehold is right on the southern border of the forest of Davokar.
Someone took something they shouldn't have.
As far as they knew, the expedition was a miserable failure. Nothing of value was discovered, but we started hearing, after we came back, we started hearing about other members of the expedition starting to die in horrible ways, and we ran south. Some of the people that we were with died in silence, others were slain, and some were transformed. They changed. And when they turned into these abominations and they were killed by the watchmen and residents, and we fled south to protect ourselves. But like I said, we didn't find anything. That we never even reached the ruins that they were trying to get to. We didn't get deep enough into the forest. We stumbled across a smaller tomb closer to the forest edge.
You say you brought back nothing of value. Did you bring back anything?
Yeah, and I've got, since I have witchcraft and I'm from the near Davakar, do I know of any sort of like infections or anything, corruption infections that can happen that somebody just like could pass through a place and have that happen? And would that be the sort of thing that, you know, like the natives or the that I know of, the elves would hunt someone to that extent if they had one of these infections?
Well, you would know that, like Lestra says that Balin has blight. That is from coming in contact with. It's not taking something; it's picking something up. But coming in contact with one of these relics that are tainted, it causes everyone to contract this blight, and it slowly eats them away. And that is part of the Iron Pact. The elves enforce this. That's why you don't go into Davakar lightly, because the elves are there to keep you out. They don't want you digging around in these tombs because exactly of something like this.
Okay, so they could have gone into a tomb, looked around, found nothing, but still become blight infected.
If they were in the wrong
If they
place,
pick something up, if they touch something.
or some of the beasts that dwell in these tombs can be infectious as well.
I want to give you the full story. I just want to
Velcor
make sure.
steps back a little bit.
Never mind. He'll start wiping the dagger.
I put on my PPE.
Rhaegar has a giant gas mask.
We look, it's like, where did you get an NBC suit anyway?
Rhaegar prepared.
Yeah. But yeah, now Varric is considering, especially given his past, whether or not these two can be allowed to live, because it could be very, very dangerous.
So yeah, once they they went into this tomb. They didn't go to the planned target, but they found another place. The planned target was too deep into Davakar. The final this was the final resting place of a long dead barbarian lord. The others in the team got away with gold, jewelry, and mystical objects. But the guy that hired them was a guy named Goric. All he wanted for himself was the copper crown that was worn by the dead lord, a crown that had merged with its cranium. So they found a throne with the skeleton of this guy sitting on it, and the crown had like become melded into his skull, and this guy took the skull. And once they returned to Thistlehold, they lived like kings for a while. Then people started to die. People started to turn and get killed, or just die outright. Balin started to, he says he started to feel as if someone was watching him, no matter where he was or what he was doing. Goric, the guy that led the expedition and hired them, disappeared. They don't know what happened to him, whether he died or what. He just disappeared. So they're not sure what happened to him. He apparently he spoke with the mayor of Thistlehold, Lassifer Nightpitch, and then either left or was killed. They don't know what happened to Goric. Then Ludo speaks up and he says, "Wait, there was one night as we were coming back. We were all sitting around the campfire, talking about what we'd found and trying to figure out the best way to get back. And we took turns holding, like, we were just passing the skull around. Everybody in the group took a turn holding it.
Everyone took a puff.
And it seemed like it was, despite being long dead for years, it was warm to the touch. And it felt as if it had dead eyes looking back at us. I just thought I was being kind of superstitious at the time. So they came in contact with a skull of a barbarian lord, and it has apparently given them blight, and they are being hunted by the Iron Pack.
Big dummies.
Varric will turn to Torvar and say, I know, and I think, out of character, I think this is right. I believe you should be able to see their aura, correct?
Out of character, that's the witch sight ability, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
Do you not have that one? Okay, I wasn't sure if your character had that one or not. Okay.
Oh, no, I can get a general feeling, but I'm not.
Gotcha.
You know, only the more powerful witch women in the tribes can do that.
Because at this point, Balin is very obviously sick, which means he's fairly far along.
Lester, are you saying this out loud? Are you asking Torvar about their auras out loud, where Lester can hear you, or no?
Just sort of leaning over to Torvar and asking. Oh, of course, it may be something that Varric already knows. I just didn't know out of character as well.
She will tell you, Ludo's shadow is moldy green with spots of growing darkness.
That's
very not good.
Balin's shadow is oozing black.
That's way worse.
Yes.
And Lester turns and she says, as I said, he obviously has blight. I've been watching him for days, expecting him to turn. I haven't had proof, but now that I was able to, I was healing him earlier, and that was all I needed.
Well,
but the elves are obviously here,
and they very likely are not hunting. This one was not hunting alone.
So again, we need to decide: are we just going to leave this elf here? Are we going to bury her? Are we going to burn her? I don't know that it would be good for the elves to come here and find one of their own dead.
No, they're likely going to know regardless, but desecrating the corpse will probably make the inevitable confrontation worse.
Yeah, I'm going to defer to Varric, out of the one of us who has the most knowledge of elven practices. I'm like, all right, what's a good idea here?
Yeah, I mean, assuming Varric would have. I assume Varric would have some idea of, what a simple field burial for a member.
Now, I mean, like there's nothing stopping you from taking her to camp, and should more elves show up, you can give her to them to, they can deal with it in their own custom, in their own way. Like you said, they're probably going to know regardless. So just like dropping her in an unmarked grave in the snow is probably, you don't really get the sense that may hide it. That may hide her body for a while, but you don't get the sense that that's going to make it go away.
No, it's certainly not going to do that. Like I said, if Varric knows that it's probably going to be the better option to take the body back, and because the odds are other elves are going to show up looking for her sooner rather than later, then Varric will say exactly that, and if we try to hide it, then that will bring their wrath down on, the entire caravan, if nothing else. These two, however, the elves are not a forgiving people. Not of this.
Well, if the best of our situation is we take her with us, let's get her packed up.
Yeah, Varric is still very much debating on whether or not these two need to go in a hole in the ground. He's just not saying that. But yeah, Varric will, I guess if he has a cloak or a tarp or something similar, we'll wrap the body.
Okay.
To bring it along.
I'll pick it up and just throw it over my shoulder once it's wrapped.
Convenient. But yeah, then Varric will particularly, he doesn't necessarily know Rhaegor, but particularly to quietly to Torvar and Valek, or Velcor. Sorry, I don't know why I called you Valek. Not even sure where that came from. It's like the elves will be coming for these two. And that's presuming that they don't turn into something even more dangerous before they get here. If the blight is that advanced, that he has maybe, I would guess, days before he changes.
All right, let's bring him back to the camp and let Argasto make the decision.
Very well, but if I get the slightest indication that he's about to change, I will kill him myself.
I feel like the Black Cloak will help you if that's the case. I don't think that's going to be...
Yeah, I think, like, in Argasto, like, you guys get back to camp, and, like, Argasto is the same. Like, he looks at Rhaegor and says, if you see him starting to turn, deal with it. Like, take him out. There's no reason for him. I don't necessarily want to just execute him. If we can make it down the other side of the mountain, maybe somebody in Yenderos can heal him. I don't know how it works, but if he does start to present as a threat, he definitely needs to be dealt with.
In the meantime, I would suggest we probably prepare for some very unfriendly visitors.
And yeah, I'm assuming you tell him about the elf.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Rhaegor has her over his shoulder.
Yeah, we just have a random corp. Don't pay any attention to that. It's fine.
Yeah, he looks.
Meet for dinner later.
he looks at her and he becomes very. He says, "We have to move. Elves are bad news. We must hurry to Yenderos. We'll be safe in the city of the Queens. That's our only hope." And as a matter of fact, he's going to tell the group to break camp. You're going to push on at night. And so he, like, all of you together, like, you don't tell anybody. He keeps Balin and Ludo, like, he puts them in a wagon to themselves. And all of you are kind of watching them, Lester included. But yeah, he says we have to move. Something has come up. We have to keep going. We can't stop for the night. And you get back on the road, and you get up steeper and steeper towards the pass, and as you first crest, the wagons roll out onto a plateau, and this is like as the sun is coming up. So you get over the crest of the mountain, and it flattens out for a stretch, and suddenly the weather changes for the worse. The wind picks up, the sky grows dark, and snow starts falling. Argasto orders the wagons to form a corral for protection against the storming elements. I know Torvar has witch sight. Does anybody else have witch sight?
I don't have witch sight.
Oh, I thought you said you did. Sorry.
No, he doesn't have that one.
I have witchcraft, but not witch sight.
Ah.
Varric, being superstitious, is going to assume that this is not well, probably rightfully, it's probably not superstition in Symbaroum, is going to assume that this is probably not natural, regardless.
Fell voice in the wind.
Lestra has witch sight.
I was going to say, Torvar and Varric have bushcraft. Can we just recognize? Oh, the weather was not going to do this.
This is not natural.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that, but yeah.
We can maybe decide we will take the mines of Mordia instead and try and go down the southern path.
Okay, so yeah, Lestra will. So you, as I said, Argasto orders the wagons into a corral, trying to get everything circled up and to protect from the elements. Lestra kind of is, while everyone else is scrambling around, she's standing there in the wind, like her robe's blowing and her hair, and she kind of has her head turned to one side, and she, I'll say Torvar comes up to her, and she says, this storm is conjured. This is not natural. And as she says that, you see why she's kind of got her head kind of cocked. She's listening on the wind. And when she says this, you start to hear it as well. There's a wrathful voice singing in the winds. You don't necessarily hear words or what it's saying, but something or someone is speaking this storm into being. You cover and you guys make your way back to the caravan, and you cover any openings on the wagons, put blankets over the huddled pack animals, and prepare for a long day.
While
in the
while
cold.
that's going on, after she has said that, I'm going to find the rest of the PCs.
Yeah.
Varric, Velcor, Rhaegar, all that. Say, and say exactly what it was. The Black Cloak says the storm is magic.
Varric is just going to settle down next to, whatever fire or shelter and just say, "They're coming."
They're here.
And after later into the afternoon, as the maybe at dusk, the storm begins to subside, and the situation is still far from ideal. It is doubtful that the caravan can continue, since the snow lies deep across the plateau, and soon a heated discussion erupts over half the caravan want to try to push forward, and the other half are saying we'll get 20 yards and be stuck. At least, with the corral, with everything circled up, we're safe for now. Where do you guys fall on that argument? Would you try to push forward, or do you feel like it's too dangerous?
Well, Torvar's going to ask Bartolo, what about that stone? What can it do to get us out of this?
It's generally, I don't know that it's not going to melt a trail down the mountain. It's meant to warm like if we can't manage to make a fire, it's meant to be a source of warmth. But I couldn't just drag it in behind me and have it melting the snow. It's not going to do that. And as we've discussed, that is a last resort. We have to reserve that for if we can't find firewood.
Like, we're snowed in with elves on our heels. Wizard, what do you think is the last resort?
We have to wait until we don't have wood.
We can activate it and keep warm, but it's not going to get us out of this location.
We have forces arrayed against us that have snowed us in. We know this is not natural. All we can do is wait. I imagine it won't be long.
And right then, two shapes emerge out of the light snowfall. Two wanderers on foot approaching the corral. One of the guards named Telk was placed on lookout, and he cries out, "Elves! I think it's elves!" And the argument dies out. Everything is silent. One of the elves raises his hand and introduces himself as Godrai. And then he gestures to the other and he says, my quiet friend is named Saren Ree. And he lowers his hand. He says, we want the ones called Balin and Ludo. And Argasto kind of leans out of the corral like he's looking over Telk's shoulder, and he says, what do you want with my men? And Godrai says, they have violated the treaties. They have tunneled too deep into the soil of old Davokar. They are blight-stricken and must be purged. And that's where we're going to call it for the night. It is 9:30. Time to shut it down. And you guys get to decide. You have 2 weeks to think about it. Do you want to turn them over?
Yes.
Or do you want to try to defend them and not turn them over to the elves? But we can decide that in a couple of weeks when we come back.
Well, the first thing I want to try is see if I can weaken at Bernie's the elf corpse to get.
It's okay.
It's already been tried in this story.
We got rid of the guys. It's okay. Leave us alone.
I don't know if you've watched the other episodes on YouTube, but that's been attempted already with the guy that stole the Sunstone.
You pick it up, go, I think the brothers went that way.
I will personally
yeah.
flirt with the elves and kill everyone.
I really was expecting that wolf to put, like, that wolf was going to bring the pain. And you guys just wiped her out. I had no, I was worried that I was overpowered. I was worried that it was going to do more damage than
I mean,
I
had we
needed it to
missed, she
do.
would have probably, she'd have managed to get a couple of hits in. It would have probably been different. But
Well, see, she was hunting Balin and Ludo, and it actually says that it tries to attack them first. So that was her first move. But yeah. So yeah, Kevin, I'm glad you were able to join us and get in some of the action. And yeah, next session should be the final session of the Promised Land. We get to make a decision here. If we turn them over, the elves go away. If we don't turn them over and try to defend them, we're going to have to deal with the elves. So that will be a decision that we make at the beginning of the next episode, which will be in 2 weeks.
Which
seems like
tell
you
Scott,
it seems like you pretty much made the decision already.
Maybe if we know more about Blight or something like that, would make this into some sort of moral dilemma. Because I'm thinking if it's like, if it's like an alien or like the Thing or something like that, when the elves show up, go, I want that guy. We're like, here you go. He's your problem.
They're going to, with Blight, you slowly turn into an abomination. You slowly, you're not undead like Malrogan. Malrogan is something completely different. But the Blight eats away at you until you like just devolve into this like zombie monster that there's no talking to it. It's just it's pretty much like a xenomorph. You have to just kill it because it is going to, like, if Balin turns while you guys are in this corral, it's going to be nasty.
Yeah,
because
so like,
you're all in this tight little space, and now you're all there and can take him on, but he's going to put a hurt on somebody before you take him out.
Yeah, so like I said, like if it's, if from Davery's understanding, I'm like, oh, well, this guy's dead anyway, and it's going to be bad. Like, there's no reason for us to keep him in our camp. Like, we're not going to be able to help him.
And there's a little bit more story to tell here. Like Ludo, of course, is saying, he's begging, please don't turn us over to the elves. We didn't mean to do this. This isn't our fault. And Argasto's kind of got feelings about dealing with the elves. He's not a fan of the elves. So there's things that we'll discuss at the beginning. But yeah, if Blight is not handled in a certain amount of time, that person is no longer human. He turns into a Blightborn, is what it's called.
And who would have thought that pulling the evil mystical skull that is merged with a copper crown might be a bad idea, especially passing it around the campfire.
Yeah. Hey, what is this? Let me lick it. Yeah, come on. Like, this is being a bad decision.
I wonder what this tastes like.
Yeah.
I don't even care if they're not supposed to be genre savvy. Come on.
So yeah, that's been us for this evening. Thank you for joining us. It's been a pretty active chat this evening. Bryce was here, Scott was here, Jonathan was here with us. So yeah, thank you guys for hanging out with us. As always, thank you to Chad, Davery, Tim, and welcome in Kevin for the next couple of weeks. Like I said, we should be finishing up part 1, which is the Promised Land, next session. And I guess I'll leave it up to you guys. There are 2 more chapters of the Copper Crown. We can keep going, or we can move on to another game if you guys want to. But Promised Land has a cohesive ending. There's an end there, but there's 2 more chapters that continue it if you want to do that. So.
And actually, that's a follow-up question that I had. from we didn't get any XP last time, and what about this time? Like, so what would our total XP be?
Yeah, I noticed that a while ago when I was getting Kevin set up. I would say you've got. I think you all are at 5 right now.
I believe so. Yeah.
You got. We'll go 5. You got 5 more for last
Okay.
session and this session. So that brings you up to 10, which is enough to bump a skill.
Noise.
Okay. Can we go ahead and do that between sessions if we want to?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Just
All
hit
right.
me on Discord and let me know what your plan is, what you're wanting to do. And Kev, that can go for you as well. You've had your own adventures while they've been dealing with Keller. But yeah, we can talk about that over Discord over the next couple weeks.
Okay.
But
Maybe I'll take which site.
might be a good idea.
Yeah.
So yeah, as I said, I'm not sure about Wednesday night for Blade 68. I'm not really sure what our plan is. We haven't fully discussed it yet. We may be taking it off though, because nobody wants to play without Jenna. She's the star of the show. And Sunday night should be Alien, but it is Easter. I'm available, but I haven't talked to my players about whether or not they are available. So I need to handle that before I just go saying willy-nilly that we're going to play. But if we don't play, I will be back with Kinless, which is what I played last night. And by that time, I'll have my physical book. I'll have the book. It'll be in my hands. I got an email this morning with the final edit of the PDF. I've got the final PDF, and now the physical book is going to be here Friday. Cannot wait. I've been waiting for 4 years.
Patiently.
So,
Obviously.
yeah, it's been a long and winding road with that Kickstarter. That dude has been through hell. He's had a really bad time. But he got it finished. He got it wrapped up, and he's shipping them out. So he's the man. But so yeah, if we don't play Alien, I will be running Kinless again, and then we'll be back here for more Symbaroum in 2 weeks. I guess that's going to be it for us this evening. If anybody has anything else they would like to say or push or promote, now would be the time.
Nope.
Nope. All right. Well, I'm Scott. That's Chad. That's Kevin. That's Tim. And that's Davery. We are the Random Encounters Guild. You can join us there at our Discord server, and you can follow us on YouTube if you would like to catch up on this tale of woe that we are weaving. All of the videos, as all of our games, are uploaded on YouTube. This will be uploaded tomorrow morning. So sorry for the brief audio issues. I'm not sure what was going on, but I'm glad it resolved itself. So yeah, I will see you Sunday night, hopefully for Alien, but if not for Kinless. And till then, I hope you all have a great week, and we'll see you later. Say good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Everybody.